So I'm trying to upgrade my audio game, so hopefully in this video I am a little bit clearer sounding, and if I'm not, I have a backup plan.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please click that subscribe button down below, and remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. So I upgraded to the GoPro Hero 5 audio adapter. I didn't want to do it, mainly because, well, I hate paying the GoPro tax on accessories that have like a 3.5-star rating. If it makes the audio quality better, then so be it. So with that being said, I want to get into a 2,500 mile review on this Heritage 114. So I picked up this Harley from Harley-Davidson of Scottsdale. It's been a few months now. I'll post the date up here of when I got it. And I have 2,514 miles on the odometer. And I just wanted to do kind of an update on this bike and my current impressions, and kind of circle back to another video I did before I bought this bike where I compared the Heritage to the Road King, and I was kind of comparing them on paper. Now I actually did that comparison before I even got my motorcycle license, and I knew that I was looking basically at a Harley touring bike, and I started comparing the Heritage to the Road King. And for what it's worth, I got hammered pretty good by quite a bit of people saying that, you know, I was kind of like had preconceived notions going in. You know, I have to say, after putting 2,500 miles on the odometer, I really think that I was like spot on with like everything that I compared in that video. But, you know, to a lot of the Harley diehards, they would look at the Heritage and say it's an inferior bike compared to the Road King, and I thoroughly disagree. Now, of course, there is no such thing really as like a blanket statement. If you were going to be taking this bike out for cross-country trips and really long durations, I probably would lean towards the Road King, mainly because it has the dual front brakes, you know, so it's got a little bit maybe better stopping power. It's got the linked brakes, which, you know, might be a little bit safer. It's a little heavier of a bike, so it just might be a better bike as far as feeling going down the road on a long trip. But I would say it's really not by a landslide. I mean, a lot of the Harley die-hard guys kind of look at that like it's a landslide statement, and I can tell you right now, they have not ridden the 2018 Heritage, because this bike is just absolutely incredible. I have not dragged the floorboards once, like a lot of guys say, which is like an older Heritage problem. I have not bottomed out this suspension. This single shock is absolutely incredible. I really couldn't say anything more about it as far as it's really just like an incredible suspension on this bike. I put 40 miles on it in a day if I'm going back and forth to work. Again, I've got 2,200 and some odd miles on this thing, and I mean, going down the highway, even at like 90 miles an hour, which I'm not, you know, at 90 now, but it just sits in a groove, and it's just a very comfortable ride. Why are you slowing down? What in the hell are you doing? Dude, get over. People. So, I mean, going into this purchase, I really educated myself. And actually, after I posted that video comparing this to the Road King, I actually started looking at the Street Glide more. I felt like if I was going to go to the touring bike, then I would just spend that little extra money and go to the Street Glide. And, you know, really comparing touring bike to touring bike, it's a pretty similar comparison. So, but when I went to the dealership and sat on the bike, the weight just felt so good on this Heritage. Now, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm a new rider, and a lighter bike is just naturally going to feel a little bit more safe bet. But, you know, and I do have to say that once I started riding, there were a couple instances in this bike that definitely at slow speed maneuvers, you know, parking and stuff like that, where I got a little bit squirrely. And had I had the full-size touring bike, I'm like 95% confident that I would have dropped it. So having this bike that weighs 100 and some pounds less certainly, I think, saved my bacon when it came to those first couple, like, you know, you're riding and you're kind of unsure and get yourself in like a situation, and you know, I think that lighter weight certainly helped out. So to anybody out there who's a newer rider who is told that you can't go with a large, you know, Harley, I call bullshit on that. Is the power too much? Not at all. You know, I'd say that the accessibility of this power, which I've said in videos before, like, it's there if you want it. I can jump on it and go, but it's not overwhelming off of stoplights. It's not overwhelming through gears. It really just is a very confidence-inspiring bike. You know, in the course of my 2,200 miles, you know, have I done some stupid things? Probably. You know, there's been a couple instances where I was like weaving in and out of traffic that I was probably riding outside of my skill level, and you know, I pretty much noticed right away and was able to slow down. You know, other than that, I really haven't had any major issues. I only had one run-in with a car where he started to kind of veer into my lane because he was on his cell phone, not paying attention. But as long as you're paying attention to your surroundings, even while vlogging here, you know, just pay attention to your surroundings, and it's really not that overwhelming. So, you know, not a whole lot to say about the bike. After 2,200 miles, you know, I did the oil change myself at the 1,000-mile service, went around, checked all the bolts, made sure everything was kind of within spec. Now, I went with Mobil 1 synthetic, the V-twin oil in all 3 holes on this bike, and it's been absolutely awesome, no problems with it. I ordered a K&N oil filter off of Amazon, works great, loved it. If you are going to be doing oil changes on these Harleys, they do sell a little funnel that basically goes underneath the oil filter to protect the frame from getting a bunch of oil on it. I also went cheap on that and just used heavy-duty tinfoil and kind of built my own little catch system, and that worked really well. Actually, I think it probably worked better than what the little plastic tray probably would do. You know, just the biggest pain in the ass when it comes to like working on a new bike, or really a new car, is like you get into these like weird nuts and bolts for things like tools you might not have, so you have to run back and forth to the auto parts store or whatever. But I actually found like a really good kit that basically has like every size that I need, you know, star, hex, basically everything at Lowe's. Actually, I'll link that kit in the description down below. But again, this bike has been absolutely awesome. To anybody who says it's too much bike, you know, to kind of circle back to that, if you're a smaller guy or girl, yeah, it's probably too much bike. You know, I don't recommend a 4'9", you know, 100-pound girl to hop on a road kit. Think they're going to be able to ride right off the bat. But somebody like me, I'm 6'1", 210 pounds. This bike is really nothing crazy to handle at all. It's really been great. I think they've balanced these things out really, really well. Now, the helmet buffeting off of this windscreen, I do get a little bit. I kind of got used to it. It's really not that bad at all. I really have no complaints. I will be getting out soon and doing a test ride on the Street Glide. I'll get that up on the highway because I really would like to compare that fairing to this windscreen here on the Heritage and see how that does. So, I have some really cool things coming up. One of the next videos I'll be doing actually is hooking up the Dynojet Power Vision to this bike, which will be really cool. It basically provides some aftermarket tunes for this 114 and has some really cool displays, so stay tuned for that. And I do have some other modifications set for this bike as well. So I also have some tech review videos coming up as well. I know I've kind of been real lax on the tech stuff, mainly because I got this bike and I've just like really dove real deep into the motor vlogging thing. I've said this before, and I do mean it, that I'm going to get more onto like a production schedule. I've been sticking with the Wednesday and Friday videos for the last couple weeks, and that's kind of the plan that I'm going to be going for in the future. So again, thank you very much for watching. If this is your first time, please click that subscribe button down below, and remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel, and we will see you next time.